Hey everybody, as of the start of me filming this, the Oscars are in 4 hours, and I thought I would quickly get out my predictions just so everybody knows that when I get every single one right, that it's legit. Let's start out here with the Best Picture. And this, obviously, I already had this from a while ago. And just as an aside, I've used Gold Derby for a few years now for Oscar predictions. This year, 10,000 people are predicting on Gold Derby, over 10,000 people. And I haven't seen anything like that so far. That's a pretty incredible number. So I'm glad that it seems like this year people are really starting to get invested again. I guess we'll see the metrics after the show airs. But for a few years now, it feels like maybe it's been falling off a little bit. But perhaps this is the year where it picks back up again. Anyway, let's get back into it. Obviously, you have Everything Everywhere All at Once is winning. Again, this is from a while ago, so this isn't fully up, and I will move some of this stuff around. But Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's been sweeping everywhere. There's not much that needs to be explained here. I think if this one didn't win, it would be a bit of a shock. It would be quite a shock. There are many races tonight that are up in the air. I'm not sure that this is a one. Banshees, I am going to keep second just because I do think it still had the strongest showing overall out of nominations. I know that All Quiet won the BAFTA. I just don't think that that'll be enough to keep it, afloat here necessarily. And I actually do think it's going to underperform tonight. And so I'm going to put it at third. Fabelmans doesn't stand. I will put Top Gun there, even though, again, none of this is really happening. I think anything below one isn't not going to stand a chance, especially with preferential voting. I mean, a lot of these can be really divisive. Banshees doesn't have huge, passion behind it, I would say. All Quiet, very much the same case, a pretty divisive one. Top Gun does, but again, I just don't know that it's high enough in people's preferential voting to be anywhere near the top. And Everything Everywhere, like if you're not predicting Everything Everywhere, you need to have a damn good reason, because it's the one that all signs are pointing to winning. Then Fabelmans, Tar, it really doesn't matter when you get to this point. Avatar doesn't stand a chance. Women Talking, Triangle of Sadness. I guess I'll put Triangle there. Why not match with this? Let's move on. Now we go to Best Director, and again, not much of a toss-up here. The Daniels pretty easily are going to win this one. And if they didn't, then obviously you have to start worrying about Best Picture. And not only start worrying, they're probably not going to win Best Picture if they don't win Director, but they will win Director. And actually, they are way more likely to win Director than Picture, in my opinion. Spielberg won the Globes. That's about it. I'm not sure McDonough won anywhere. Todd Field, nope. And Ostlund, nope. So if anybody could win, I guess it would be Spielberg, just because, if they feel an overwhelming need to vote for him. But he hasn't been that sort of target in past races, previous races. And I don't see it happening here because, again, all signs point towards the Daniels. Let's take it now to Best Actress. And this is one that I have gone back and forth on, like most people. First of all, Anna de Armas is not third. She's fourth, I think. I'm going to put Riseborough last. And it's because, obviously, Blanchett has won more. I think most, again, of the signs are pointing towards her winning. Michelle Yeoh not only gave a great performance, not only has an excellent narrative, but can she be picked up in the sweep of passion for Everything Everywhere? Will it perform well enough to be able to pick her up along with it? And I can see it going either way. As of right now, I think Michelle Yeoh wins. I think Michelle Yeoh wins Best Actress. It can absolutely go either way. I will not be surprised if Cate Blanchett wins. I think both are really good performances. I just don't see... I can see both in my mind. There's no specific reason why Michelle Yeoh will win over Cate Blanchett in my mind. Again, besides maybe the passion behind Everything Everywhere. And as you'll see, I'm going to predict it in quite a few races. So I guess my theory is that the Academy will just love the film and want to award it across all branches. So I'm going to predict Michelle Yeoh, but I think it could easily be Cate Blanchett. We move now to Best Actor, and obviously I haven't updated this in a while because Austin Butler is clearly ahead for the race. And again, this is an absurdly difficult race. It's between, obviously, Fraser and Butler. Fraser has the narrative. People really like this guy, really sweet, but the film is super divisive. So as of right now, I'm going to give it to Elvis. I'd be a little surprised if Fraser won. I don't think this is exactly the same as the actress race. I think this one's a little more of a gap between Butler and Fraser. I can definitely see Fraser winning. I'm not mad about it. I will understand the reasoning. It was my favorite performance of last year, but Butler fulfills so many, traits of a Best Actor winner. He's playing a real person, a beloved American icon. He got absolute raves for his performance. He is on top of the world right now. So I think the passion will be there to vote for him and choose him. Although, yeah, I mean, personally, I would like to see Fraser to win. I'm not going to pick him. I'm going to pick Butler. Then we move now to supporting actress, and again, obviously, this hasn't been updated in a while. Bassett won at the where did she win? Angela Bassett won at the Globes. She won at the Globes. And I after that, I was like, okay, I guess I better put her there because, who else could it possibly be? I really don't see her winning the Oscar. I don't know that she has enough of a, impact, I guess I would say, on the film to be able to push forward and get the Oscar at the end of the day. But it obviously is between these three. And like Banshees in general, I just don't know that Condon has the passion for her to be able to prevail. People will say, Banshees is going to go empty-handed then. And yeah, that's possible, but it's not like they're conspiring to all give Condon the one award. The acting branch isn't looking at this like, well, if we don't give it to Condon, they might not win anything else. She's a great actress. She's a great part in the film. People like Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she's gotten a real big lift recently. And she's been campaigning. I know that. I think there's a lot of passion behind the film, obviously. And we all know that, unfortunately, as good as she is, Stephanie Sue doesn't really stand a chance. I'm going to predict Jamie Lee Curtis. And I actually am, I don't know, but Condon, I think, has won the most generally. So I am going to keep her second. And I'm going to put Bassett third. It could be any of these three. And if they really do air this category first, God, what a way to start off the night. Because any of these three will be surprising. I don't think you could possibly not be shocked. And then obviously Chow or Sue would make me lose my mind. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Jamie Lee Curtis. We move now to supporting actor, and I'm not even going to waste your time here. Pretty good category, but it's Ke Huy Quan. He swept pretty much everywhere. I think Keown won at the BAFTAs, but it does not matter. Ke Huy Quan is winning. That's just the facts. Then you get to adapted screenplay, and this is a very tricky one. Yeah, Glass Onion's last, I think. I don't think Glass Onion stands a chance. Women Talking was obviously, I think, sort of for most of the race considered to be the front runner, and I think obviously it still is, but it's a lot closer than I think people, are ever expected it to be. And I think it's because All Quiet people recognize this film's status as a contender. And first of all, if it doesn't win screenplay, I don't think it's not winning Best Picture. Okay, you can go ahead and cross that off. Not that it was ever going to, in my opinion, but especially if it doesn't win screenplay. If you see that award and All Quiet does not win it, you can count it out. It's not happening. So I am going to stick with Women Talking just because I do think if they saw the film, they will recognize the power of this screenplay and just how much it stands out above, some of these other contenders. And I just don't know that All Quiet has what it takes to prevail over just how much of a dominant force Women Talking screenplay is. I mean, this film is a writer's movie. All Quiet has other traits that make it, good, one could argue. Women Talking really thrives off of the screenplay. And you look at contenders like that, and often those are the ones that pull ahead. I'm going to leave it as Women Talking right now. Again, would not be surprised if All Quiet takes it. I would be a little surprised if it's anything else here. Women Talking is going to get this one. Moving on over to original screenplay, and if Everything Everywhere doesn't win this, then you can start worrying, you can start freaking out a little bit, but it's going to, because the screenplay is, again, one of the most imaginative parts about it, and it all lives or dies there. Banshees has a great screenplay, but again, in a year with Everything Everywhere All at Once, it just does not really stand a chance. I'm just going to put Tar there, because I do think Tar probably stands a better chance over The Fabelmans. But Everything Everywhere is winning original screenplay. Then you get to best cinematography. All Quiet, I think, is again the general consensus. I'm going to put Elvis there. And I'm going to put Elvis there because I think that it's a very flashy kind of cinematography. Obviously, All Quiet looks gorgeous, but I do think that they will recognize Elvis's over the top, because that is sort of just the nature of the film. And you know, Elvis might take other categories for that very same reason. Not that the cinematography is bad. I quite like the cinematography in Elvis, but I do think that just how over the top it is will really be able to prevail, you know, to push it over the line in this one. And I will say that last year I also predicted, against my better judgment, Power of the Dogs. What's her name? The cinematographer on Power of the Dog, who was a woman. She would have been the first woman to win this category. And I'm kind of doing the same now because I do think that'll be a pretty historic moment. I could be wrong again. That would be disappointing. But I do think Elvis will probably, and you know what? Let's put Tar there. Why not? Because it's not going to be either of these two. That would just be absolutely nuts. I'm actually going to put Bardo over Empire of Light because I don't think this is happening. So Elvis, congratulations on your potential Oscar if I'm right. Next, we move to costume design. Again, I actually am going to give this to Elvis because I think it has spectacular costumes. And I don't know that Black Panther, I don't know how much they're going to love Black Panther's costumes. I think it won the first time around, obviously, when it was the Black Panther 2018 won costume design. I haven't touched this category in a while. Everything Everywhere, yeah. I just don't see that happening, though. I think Elvis's costumes are too strong here. I think it'd be a little surprised if it wasn't Elvis, just because the amount of costumes and how much of a role that plays in the film. Like every scene, he's wearing a different spectacular outfit. I think Elvis is pretty handily going to walk away with this one, even more easily than cinematography, obviously, I guess. But Elvis for costume design. Then we move now to best film editing. Is Everything Everywhere the consensus here? Wow. Okay, this one's actually tough. Elvis's editing is obviously, again, over the top, really high octane, like you're constantly zooming around the film. I don't know how much the Academy is going to love that. Everything Everywhere is obviously the best picture frontrunner, which usually goes a long way in editing category, but then also I think there's this statistic about like best sound or whatever, and it doesn't have that. But it's also just some really good editing, you know, all the multiversal stuff. I'm gonna say Everything Everywhere, and then I'm actually gonna say Elvis. I'm gonna say Everything Everywhere, Elvis, Top Gun, because Elvis has the most editing, which we know that sometimes they like in this category. Everything Everywhere has a really good usage of its editing. Obviously, a big part of the film in general is the editing. Top Gun is very tight and compact and, you know, awesome, just super exciting and adrenaline fueling. So that's all that is good editing. These two do not stand a single chance. And wow, I mean, I don't know, this is probably the toughest one yet, just because I haven't really been paying attention to this race. But I'm going to leave it as this for now. Everything Everywhere taking it again. Man, they're going to, if I'm right, they're going to be taking home a lot tonight. Then you get to makeup. And if The Whale wins makeup, I actually don't know which they do first, supporting actor or makeup. But if The Whale gets makeup, then you really have to look out for Brendan Fraser. And I guess if Elvis gets makeup, then you can almost call it a night for Austin Butler, just because, again, the makeup goes a long way in determining the best actor winner. And that's just the facts. I mean, the more makeup that an actor has, I think the Academy is often more inclined to look at that person and vote for them. The Whale's makeup is really good on Brendan Fraser. But Colonel Parker, I guess, I'm gonna stick with The Whale for this one, which I guess sort of goes against my best actor pick, but I do think that race is going to be insanely close, and I do think that enough people will recognize The Whale as sort of, you know, the makeup behemoth that it is in constructing this entire character. None of the film works without the makeup of The Whale, whereas the Colonel Parker, I guess, is fine. It sort of transforms key Hollywood figure, which is Tom Hanks. It makes him look almost I don't want to say unrecognizable because you can obviously tell that it's him, but it makes him look very different, which I do think that they will like. But I am going to say, just because of the importance of the film of The Whale, like the subject matter itself revolves around the makeup. And so I do think that will help propel it past Elvis. I'm not super confident in that, and that does make me sort of question my best actor pick, but I'm sticking with it. I guess we get to production design now. Babylon. People don't like that film. People do not like Babylon, but yet it's still number one here because the production design is obviously phenomenal. How much does Elvis walk away with? Let's give it to Elvis. Let's give production design to Elvis because, again, you just look at the over-the-top stuff. I'm going to use the same argument that I use for cinematography and for editing. Actually, I give everything everywhere editing. But anyway, Elvis just has all of it. It's got it in excess. And actually, Babylon does too, to be honest with you. Babylon has more production design. And obviously, I would say probably bigger sets, more elaborately constructed sets. But I think if it really comes down to these two, people prefer Elvis as a film. That's not even a question. And Babylon's pretty divisive. I just don't know that it will be able to overcome its divisiveness in order to take what would be a rightfully deserved Oscar for production design. And I do think that Elvis just has that strength as a Best Picture nominee. So I am going to give it the number one spot here. And I'm gonna just put All Quiet above Avatar there, just for good measure. Then you look at Best Score, and this one I was kind of dreading just a little bit. 100-1 odds with Everything Everywhere. That is crazy because now I see a lot of people predicting it actually. Fabelmans, John Williams. It's really the only reason he's nominated here. In my opinion, it's a fine score. It's about 30 minutes long. Banshees, I'm going to actually put it below that. It has no passion behind it whatsoever, just like the film in general, to be honest with you, at this ceremony. So it really comes down to these three. The argument for Everything Everywhere is that because it's a Best Picture winner, you look at Best Picture winners in the past, a lot of them revolve around having the score win and stuff like that. I do think that this is an exception. I don't think Everything Everywhere thrives off of its score. I think it obviously helps in certain moments, but I just don't know that it is musically significant enough to overcome either of these two contenders. All Quiet obviously has the very memorable boom, boom, which is obviously very key to the war setting and just how intense the environment is. Maybe some bias here. Sticking with Babylon at 1. Justin Hurwitz delivers a phenomenal score, and I know I just gave that whole argument about how divisive Babylon is and how they might just pick another film because Babylon is divisive, even if it might be the best of its category. I don't think it has that problem in score. I think if you watch the film, again, just so much of the movie is frenetic and works because of Hurwitz's score. And so I think that this race is ridiculously close between these two, but honestly, between these three, I'm going to give it to Babylon. I'm going to say Babylon pulls through. And again, I do think All Quiet may just underperform a little bit tonight. I don't know that it has that passion, enough passion behind it. But then again, I don't know if Babylon does either, so I guess we'll see. And if these two are splitting, maybe Everything Everywhere sneaks in there. Maybe it's able to do it as the Best Picture frontrunner. Guess we'll see tonight. Sticking with Babylon. I am so prepared to have my worst score yet for predictions. This is going to be so funny. Let's go to song now. Not super confident in this one. Rihanna, Lift Me Up. I'm just going to say not to. I think because I do think that people will probably want to award RRR. Maybe this is just the circles that I roll in. What did I just do? I accidentally kicked it out. I think I got worse odds. But in any case, I'm going to reload. I don't want worse odds. Fuck. 1 second. So I think they'll want to award RRR. And this is, a fun, vibrant, and important song in the film. It's one of the most memorable sequences of the film. And these two are sort of just credit songs, right? I guess Lift Me Up has the added bonus of relating to Chadwick Boseman's legacy and tying into the film meant to honor him. I'm going to put This Is a Life higher than Diane Warren's millionth attempt at an Oscar. Wait, hang on now. I'm seeing this and I'm thinking maybe it's possible. This one is entirely thriving off of Lady Gaga, and I guess Top Gun Maverick as a film, but nobody really cares about this song. This one again has the benefit of being a Best Picture song. I don't know, guys. This is a tough one. Dude, how many Oscars could Everything Ever walk away with, though? I mean, I just don't know. Is it going to be like a completely dominant force? It was at the nominations. It was nominated for so many. Bro, there's no way. You know what? Should I no guts, no glory it? Does it make any sense? Fuck it. Fuck it. Let's do it. This is a Life for Best Song. Not confident, but there you have it. Now we're in Best Sound. Woof. It's one of these two, obviously. Does Top Gun... One of these guys is going empty-handed, I think. I don't think I gave either of them anything yet. The planes. The planes. They like planes. They like cars. They like tanks. They like guns. Let's put Elvis there. Man. I'm going to say Top Gun. I'm going to keep it with Top Gun for now. I do think it could easily be All Quiet. Easily. But let's keep it with Top Gun. Yeah. I'm going to keep it Top Gun. Man, so many of these races could go either way. This is a fun Oscars, huh? And so many races could go any number of ways. Let's keep it Top Gun. Best visual effects, lock it up. If it's not Avatar, we riot. If it's not Avatar, we riot and the race is shut down and blah, 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 blah. We're done here. It's Avatar. Animated feature. This is probably the last one I'm going to do. I don't really care about these guys. Pinocchio is winning. I think this is the lock of the night. I think everybody agrees this is the lock of the night. Sure, we'll put Marcel there. I'm going to put Puss in Boots there because I like it. And but it doesn't matter because Pinocchio is winning. It's got Guillermo del Toro, and even if it didn't, it's a great film. So it's winning animated feature. Lock of the night. Documentary. Let's go. I guess I'll do this quickly. All the Beauty and the Bloodshed I've heard so much good about. People really like Fire of Love too. And Navalny is pretty... You know what? These categories always surprise me. I always put something and they do the wrong thing. So fuck you, Gold Derby. Not putting Navalny. All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. Let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. Yeah, I'm rolling. Actually, I don't know. Documentary, they kind of... Because in the past, they did what? My Octopus Teacher and then Free Solo, which were most definitely the favorites. So let's roll with Navalny. Let's roll with Navalny. Just based on those two things that I just said. That's it. International theme. Not even, I don't care what else, everything else is. If you get nominated for Best Picture and the rest of your nominees don't, you're winning. It's like... Easy. Animated short. Yeah, these are the ones they always mess with me out. And I actually haven't seen these ones this year. I didn't get to go to a showing. Usually I get to go to one and they play all the animated and live action shorts and it's a lot of fun. But I didn't get to do that this year. So I am just going to pick one of these because I don't think it'll be the one in first place. I'm going to pick the ostrich. I think they'll like the ostrich one. Maybe. I'm going to put Flying Sailor last. I don't know what that is. And that's my official prediction. Elephant Whisperers. There's no way they pick it. They're picking How Do You Measure a Year. Lock it in. Lock it in. I'm going to put this second in case I'm wrong. Stranger at the Gate. They're picking Stranger at the Gate. I changed my mind. He looks scary. So that's my guess. Live action short. I actually have heard about An Irish Goodbye. I think people like this one. So I am going to pick that. And I've heard about The Red Suitcase. So I guess I'll put that there. But they always mess with me. They're always messing with me. Le Pupille. You're not winning. You're not winning. You're not winning. Get out of here. Those are my predictions. All right, folks, I don't feel confident about almost anything I said here today, and I will probably be wrong about everything. So come back and clown me. I'm looking forward to it. Leave your own predictions if you want down below. I'm super excited for tonight. We only got to wait. About 30 minutes has passed. So just under 4 hours. 3 hours and 30 minutes to go until the show. And boy, I could not be more excited. One of the most exciting ceremonies in recent years, in my opinion, just because, again, you saw how many of these categories could go either way, truly. But I am going to get all of them right regardless. So, folks, I will see you tonight at the Oscars. Good luck and goodbye.